With a new record label, a new hairstyle, and a new sound, Camila Cabello is completely rebranding for really the first time in her solo music career. But will this rebrand work for her? If you don't know who I am, I'm Adam the Flop. I love talking about pop music, so if you love hearing about pop music, learning about it, make sure you subscribe to see more. I really wanted to talk about Camila Cabello today because I honestly feel like she's had one of the most interesting comebacks in pop music recently. To start, we should probably take it back to 2022 when she released her album Familia. I really loved this album. I thought the singles were great, and I liked how she leaned more into that Latin pop element we saw in songs like Havana and Liar. Compared to her previous two albums though, Familia kind of underperformed. It debuted at number 10 on the Billboard 200 with 27,000 units, whereas her previous album Romance hit number 3 with 86,000 units, and her first album Camila debuted at number 1 with 119,000 units. Despite this, she did see success with the single Bam Bam, which was a pretty big global hit and has over 800 million streams on Spotify. After this album, I feel like Camila probably spent a lot of time just thinking about her artistry and how she wants to get back into the spotlight as a main pop girl. After the Familia era, she ended up splitting from her label Epic Records, who she had been signed to ever since Fifth Harmony, and she ended up signing with Interscope and Geffen Records. Camila entering this new chapter with the new label was the perfect time for her to switch up her sound. I'm a huge Camila fan and I know all of her songs, but I feel like the general public really only knows her for her huge radio hits like Havana, Never Be the Same, Bam Bam, Señorita. And so she's become really well known at making solid mainstream radio hits, but that can only take you so far. Her entering a new chapter with the new label was the perfect time for her to reevaluate the people that she was working with and just switch up her whole sound. She began working with El Guincho, who is one of Rosalia's main producers, and also Jasper Harris, who's really well known for producing for artists like Tate McRae and Jack Harlow. This is a brand new production team from her, so when she began posting that she was in the studio with El Guincho and Jasper, I was really curious about the sound that she was going to pursue for her upcoming era. It's been about 2 years now since Familia, and the longer she was waiting to put out music, the more nervous I was getting for the era, because the longer you wait without the general public's attention, the more risk there is in your music underperforming. And not only was she absent from the music industry for a while, but she also wasn't really making any public appearances, so her fans weren't getting much content from her. On February 1st, she began teasing her new album era with her blonde hair reveal and a snippet of new music. Now, I was instantly gagged for two reasons. One was that I was not expecting her to go blonde. Like, that was actually crazy. She had dark hair. If she were to announce that she changed her hair color, I would have thought that she did maybe red or like a lighter brown, but blonde was just completely different. Now, I like it. I think it's good. It just took me a minute to get used to it. And the second reason I was gagged was that the snippet she shared was hyperpop. And I really did enjoy the first snippet she shared because I love hyperpop. But again, it made me nervous because the general public has this idea of Camila where she makes these songs that are really well suited for radio, but how well would a hyperpop song perform at radio? I thought within a couple weeks after she posted this snippet that we would get the lead single for this new album, but we didn't. Instead, she began doing the most press we've seen her do in years. She went on Call Her Daddy, she did some magazine interviews and photo shoots, she went to Vanity Fair's Oscars party, and she even teased her song at a Miami basketball game. The song she teased was her song, I Love It, and it had a very mixed reaction. Many people were excited that Camila was pursuing this new experimental pop sound, but a lot of people were angry and were saying that she was copying artists like Charlie XCX and Rosalia. These comments made me really mad because every single artist has inspirations, so who cares if artists like Charlie or Rosalia inspired Camila for this new era? And they were only saying that because it was a hyperpop song. Like, is no other artist allowed to do hyperpop? Also, like I mentioned before, she is working with El Guincho, one of Rosalia's main producers. So, of course, there will be some similarities there. Even though these comments did make me angry, a lot of them were going viral, which you might think is a bad thing, but it really just helped the song get in front of more people. The first video teaser she posted for I Love It has 65 million views on X. Even though a lot of you users were hating on it, it seemed to be growing on a lot of people. I saw a lot of posts from people saying that they've heard the snippet so many times that they were starting to like it, which was probably Camila's exact intention with teasing it for so long. But she kept on teasing it for about 3 more weeks, and now it is March 27th. And we officially have I Love It. I'll get into my thoughts on the whole song in a second, but I just wanted to say first that I think her teasing for about 2 months was really smart because she needed to get back into the public eye before putting out any sort of music. All of what I just mentioned, like her interviews, her photo shoots, her public appearances, and her teasers for I Love It, are what made her start trending online for the first time in years. And I feel like this really helped people understand exactly what she was trying to do with this rebrand because it was completely different from anything she had done before. So now she puts out I Love It, and we are met with even more surprises. The first thing that caught a lot of people off guard was the Playboy Cardi feature, which she didn't announce before the release of the song. At first, I was kind of confused on why she didn't announce the Playboy Cardi feature because he's a really big artist and would have brought even more hype to the song. Then I thought about it and I was like, I mean, she did release the song on a Wednesday when we're used to new music on Fridays, so she really had to get people to tune into the song on a Wednesday, and what better way to do that than a surprise feature? Jasper Harris said that he, El Guincho, and Camila were heavily influenced by rap for this new music era, so his feature definitely makes sense. I was also really surprised by the overall production of the song. Even though we had the snippet of the chorus before, I was really curious to hear how the whole thing would sound together. When talking about the production for Camila's upcoming album, Jasper said that whenever they had a sweet melody, they would try to make the music sound scary. And that makes total sense when you listen to the verses of I Love It. Camila's singing these nice melodies about love in the verses, but then the production surrounding it sounds kind of haunting, but I love it. In that same People magazine interview, Camila said that she was inspired by the melting pot of music and culture in Miami. And I feel like you can really hear that in I Love It because it doesn't only have that energetic pop production, but there's also the hip hop elements with the Gucci Mane sample and the Playboy Cardi verse. It honestly does feel really Miami. Like when I listen to it, I feel like I'm driving down a Miami freeway in an expensive vehicle, feeling bougie, windows down. I really do think that it's a contender for Song of the Summer. So I've mentioned pretty much everything we've gotten from this new Camila era so far. So I want to get back to my question, which was, will this rebrand work for her? When I think of rebrands, I think of Taylor Swift going from country to pop, and the Disney girls like Miley and Selena leaving their Disney eras and entering their more mature music eras. All of those rebrands were done in such a smart way, and I think Camila's is too. This is Camila's 4th album, and a lot of artists get the 4th album curse if they keep on doing the same thing. Camila had a drastic change with her sound, and I think her going blonde really complements that. You could really tell that she's just having so much fun with it. Rebrands get people to talk about you, which is exactly what has been happening to Camila ever since she started teasing this new era. I was really nervous at first, but after seeing all the teasing and after hearing I Love It, I really think that this new album can put her back in the spotlight. Camila is a main pop girl, and she is not letting go of that status. Make sure to stream I Love It for happy summer vibes, and if you don't like it, you're probably an angry, miserable person who hates fun. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much, Illy. If you're not subscribed, you're a flop. What are you doing? Subscribe now. I'll see you guys in the next video, and let me know in the comments what you think about this new Camila era and also what you want me to talk about next.